bring the action.
Hello and welcome to the Season 6 Round 4 Blue Lobby Sprint Race here at Sardegna C. So taking up pole position for the sprint race we have Super Simon in his RX Vision on the medium tyre. And then in P2 we have Piper on the medium tyre also in his 296. P3 we have Damo on the medium tyre also in his 458. And then in 4th place we have Murph on that medium tyre in his 4C. And then in 5th place we have Lee in his 911, the first of the soft runners, 5th place. And then in 6th we have our very own Big Crazy Bertie in his 296, also on soft tyres. And then DJ and Cypher in 7th place in that Toyota Supra, also soft tyres. And then back to our medium tyres for our 8th place runner, Hassler in his 296. And then one of our very own admin, Ziggy in P9 on his medium tyres in his 911. And then in 10th place we have Sparky medium tyres in his 296. And then P11, one half the Nighthawk Racing co-creators, Sarah Hawkey medium tyres in the Huracan. And then another Huracan directly beside her, Chaos Druid in his Huracan soft tyres. And then Kirk in P13, unlucky for some, in his Supra soft tyres. Let's see where he can get to. Well, this is going to be an interesting race here at Sardegna C. What can I say other than watch out? We have a mix of cars, mix of tyre choices. And what can I say? I think we're going to see a lot of drivers attempting to come through, but will those tyres last the distance? All I can say is, let's get into the race and see what the commentators think about it. Here we are for Season 6 Round 4 Blue Lobby Sprint Race. Simon will be leading the field away on the rolling start down to Turn 1. Sardegna C, short run into Turn 1 here, but a big stop once they get there. Piper in P2. Looks like Simon has pulled off to the left early on and let Piper and the leading pack go. So it will be Damo challenging Piper into the first corner, with Murph and Lee close behind Bertie in P5. I was going to say, so far so good, but Damo lighting up the rear tyres of that 458 and kind of very squarely coming out of the first corner there. Lee up to P2 from absolutely nowhere, bunch of the rest of the pack all together, with Ziggy making his way past Damo as well into the fast flowing left and right. And, well, Pedro, that's nearly a lap over already. A lot of action from a lot of cars changing positions, but so far, good driving. I haven't seen any big incidents, which is a good sign so far.
Yeah, it was... Oh, saying that, there's a big crash at the exit of the last corner. Few cars, I believe we have a Cypher and Sparky involved. I was also about to mention Sparky because Sarah and him were fighting throughout most of lap 1, and Sarah almost ended up in the wall as well. But good to see that nothing happened between them at that point. She also holds on the position from Druid. Ooh, had a big moment there. Managed to keep the car pointing the right way. All pretty intense so far.
Yeah, so far, and we've got Haslett spinning coming out of that little left-hand flick, so he's going to be blocking the track. He's not going to be happy with that one. Dropping right down the pack.
Oh, and Simon. Engine damage as well.
He's had a big shunt somewhere. So Piper out front on the medium tyres. He's going to be reeled in by Lee on the soft tyres. Only 4 drivers on the soft tyres for this start. I believe that was Lee, Bertie, Druid, and there was one other which escapes me at this moment. But we will obviously find out as we go.
Cypher.
Cypher, thank you. And Cypher spending his penalty down the pit straight.
Oh.
But there you go. Lee going for the lead of the race, making use of those soft tyres. And during this section here is when those soft tyres are really at their best. He's getting the best grip out of those tyres, and then off down the downhill again, Piper down to P2. So that big pack from 6th down to 9th, all together, led by Damo at the moment. Sarah Hawkey, the Druid, and Kirk now joining the battle all together. Kirk trying to go around the outside of this group, cutting back in. I'm thinking they'll try again on the next corner or so. But Damo getting a little bit of a breakaway. Druid looking to challenge Sarah. Kirk actually giving Sarah a little bit of a bump down the pit straight there. Trying to work together to get past Druid perhaps. But that's going to leave Druid on the inside. Holds his position for the moment, that Lamborghini. Very good in a straight line. Sarah lighting up the rear tyres out of turn 1. Somehow keeping pointed in the right direction. A bit of driving. Sparky now joins the battle. Don't go 3 wide into that corner, lads. That's not going to work out well for you. I don't actually know how they got
Oh my goodness. Oh!
Little bit of ping-ponging each other around the corner.
Oh, Damo hit the wall as well, right in front.
And then, yeah, Druid hitting the wall. Kirk coming off a little bit worse out that lot. This whole lot just kind of rebounding off each other, but they're all made it through somehow. Not entirely sure how. That's well done, lads.
Yeah, that was mighty impressive. The fact that they were basically bunched up throughout more than half the lap. And yeah, they didn't cause contact between each other. It was pretty good. Sparky might go for a move here. He goes. Druid. All of them might overtake Damo here.
Yeah, Damo getting shuffled to the outside on a lot of these corners. That's why he's fallen off the pack. But he's going to come back at them.
Oh!
And then will unfortunately run wide. There's a lot of gravel on the outside of that corner, which will slow you down. So a little bit of a lunge, but they all got away with it. Kirk back on the back of Druid, challenging for P8. Looking back at the front though, actually going to stay with this for a moment. Druid holding on the inside. Kirk running wide and into the barrier. That's unfortunate for him. Front end damaged. He won't be happy with that one. But that will put Damo back behind him. Damo into the pits. So maybe he's going to go change some soft tyres. But looking back up the front, Lee now with a commanding lead over Piper in P2, Bertie in P3 and Ziggy in P4. Difference of tyres between a lot of these gents. We've got 2 soft, 2 medium tyres, and the mediums aren't really in the zone at this point. But give it another 3 or 4 laps, the soft tyres will start to drop off a bit, and then you'll be watching drivers such as Piper and Ziggy hopefully make a little bit of inroads on that leader.
Yeah, and they seem to be pretty competitive as well. Just as you were mentioning the tires, Ziggy, out of the top 4, actually set the fastest lap in lap 5 in the comparison between all of their 5th laps. Yeah, it's pretty. They all pretty matched in terms of pace at the moment, it seems. But now I'd say that Bertie and Lee do really need to make the most out of the soft tires, whilst they have that grip advantage over Piper and Ziggy.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. And Lee, on that last lap, did retaliate a little bit, setting the fastest lap that he's done for a while. So he's trying to make most of that P1 clear air. Just behind this lot, we've got Murph in a solid P5. Sarah Hawkey in P6. Sparky in P7 now he's got through that group of guys. But then again, he's been followed by Druid into the section. And they're going just the change of direction is so fast through lane. You never know if they're going to come together or not. But so far, so good. And then we've got Kirk in P9 recovering after that incident. And then DJ Cypher P10, Hassler in P11, Damo has switched to those soft tyres for P12, and Simon is circulating in P13 at the moment. Oh, right, so we're at that point of the race. We're halfway through nearly. We're just waiting to see what those soft tyre drivers can do. But there is a yellow flag at the start of Sector 2. I don't think that's
Simon.
Simon's round. Yeah, big damage there as well. But that's he's done well to get out of the way of the leaders, and he's getting going again. So at the moment, Pedro, I think we've got a couple of drivers that we should be watching. I think we've nailed that Ziggy's looking quite threatening here on those medium tyres. He's reeled in Bertie, even though he's on the softs. So, one to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Ziggy has been extremely comfortable in that Porsche. He's definitely in his element this season. And yeah, in this race, he's looking pretty promising with the way that he's been driving the car, considering he's on the mediums. And I might say, if he's already making up this round, surely fine Bertie. I'm starting to get a little bit worried because Z is probably only going to get faster and faster with those mediums being probably the best tyre right now.
Yeah, and we know Bertie and Ziggy work well together, so you might see them playing a little bit of team play later on. You have to keep an eye on them, see what they do. Another battle forming is Sarah versus Murph, the battle for P5. That 4C really suiting Murph. He's getting the best out of himself at the moment, which is great to see. But he's being followed by our very own Sarah Hawkey. Yeah, at the moment, that battle for P2, it's going to be a slow burn, isn't it? You're not going to see any. All three of these guys are very experienced, so you're not going to see any dive hard dive bombs from these guys. It's great to see that they can get this close to each other. And well, they'll just wait to see how it plays out. But impressive out front. Lee, he loves these sprint races, leading almost from start to finish at this point.
Yeah, basically, since he took the lead, it seems like he's just really far up the order and, you know, just setting up consistent and pretty quick lap times, just trying to create as big of a gap as possible. I think it's around 3 to 4 seconds at the moment to Piper. Yeah, however, as we've mentioned a few times, those softs are probably going to start fading a little bit towards these final laps, which could give us some interesting battles. And yeah, in terms of the actual overtakes, I mean, it's definitely not an easy track to do so. And I think there are probably only realistically 2 big options to overtake, which are the final corner and the first corner. But everywhere else, it's just you're either so bunched up, or the track is too narrow, or it's a little bit too bumpy, especially in that last sector, going uphill into the final corner, that it just makes it really difficult. And I think now Ziggy is just getting closer and closer to Bertie. Ooh, I thought he was going to go for the move there.
Yeah, there we go.
He still does.
I think that... Oh, Ziggy, no!
Oh, Ziggy!
Oh, that's unfortunate. It looked like a little bit of team play there. Bertie giving Ziggy the room. And then, unfortunately, Ziggy's Achilles heel's always been the rear end out of slow corners. And unfortunately, dropping it coming out of turn 1. But he's looking good on pace, but that is going to be unfortunate for him for the sprint race. He'll have to learn from that for the feature race. And that has gifted Bertie perhaps a solid podium there. Because you can definitely see, like you pointed out, the softs from Bertie, even in the Mclaren, which is well known for being quite gentle on its tyres, they were past their prime. Ziggy, he had the pace on that one, so unfortunate for the Zigster there, but that's good for all the people behind him. Murph's upper place, Sarah upper place, then Druid P6, Sparky P7, Kirk P8, and then DJ and Cypher up to P9. But well, we'll see what Ziggy can do. Maybe he can get a couple of places back, but good luck to him on that one. But again, Pedro, that's unfortunate for Ziggy, but it's so easy to do round here. As soon as you light up the rear tyres, you're going backwards basically.
Yeah, since there's a bit of an elevation change through that corner, it's a little bit banked. As soon as you lose the feel for the back end and it gets too light, it's just so easy to lose control there, and it's unfortunate for Ziggy because he was looking really good in this sprint to get a very solid result. But yeah, hopefully he'll be able to make up for it in the future, because it's looking promising. His tire wear looked pretty good and his plates look pretty good as well, so will only be positive signs for the future. Well, I'm seeing that Sarah is trying to set up a move on Murph for quite a few laps now, but I'm seeing as well that Kirk and Sparky are just glued to each other. Druid is not too far in front as well.
Yeah, a couple of good little battles going on. Like you said, glued Kirk to Sparky. He's going to be wanting past him because you can see he's got the speed, but has he got the track position? Not quite yet. Sparky will run a bit wide. A little bit of a clattering coming through, but apart from a little bit of paint swaps, good move from there from Kirk.
Yeah, that's basically the type of move that Kirk was hoping for, just trying to see if he could force Sparky into a mistake. And that was just enough so that he'd be able to take advantage of it. Now probably setting his sights on Druid. Anyway, I think Sarah lost a little bit of time to Murph on that previous lap. Although it's not over yet. As it's the case when you're all this bunched up, it's sometimes the small details that are going to make a difference and could be either that are probably going to be very impactful. Can either be super beneficial for you or super costly.
Yeah, and Ziggy up to P9, getting past Deej and Cypher into turn 1. And like you said, Sarah did fall back from Murph a little bit there. I think a little bit of a mistake into sector 2 the previous lap. I've been watching these two come around the final corner. Sarah takes a much tighter line, but Murph takes a wider line and seems to get better traction out of the corner. That's where it's always been a bit tricky for the Lamborghini to get on par by the time the first corner comes around. And Druid around at the final corner, is that?
Yeah, it was, and he just lost the rear end and hit the wall. Let me tell you, Sarah now, right on the back of Murph, as we go into the final lap, she might get the position here, around the outside. And I think she's got it. Oh, a little bit of contact there.
Very good, respectful racing between the pair. Murph knew that he'd lost the corner and he didn't do anything silly, so well done to Murph. And Sarah, well, very brave there. As we do see, Lee taking the win. Didn't see much of him from that race, didn't need to. Piper taking a well-deserved P2, Bertie P3. Sarah will take P4, taking that position on the final lap. Murph P5. Kirk somehow up to P6, well done there. Sparky P7, Ziggy P8. Deej Cypher P9. Druid will recover to P10 after that spin right at the end, because his rear tyre is looking very second hand, so possibly a reason behind the spin on that one. Might want to adjust the brake balance for the feature race. Hassler now will be taking P11. Super Simon takes P13, a little bit out of sequence, and then Damo with a P12. Somewhere of a little incident in that last lap or so, last couple of corners with some damage there. But great race there from Lee, Piper and Bertie. And a very gutsy drive from Sarah for the P4 there. That was quite entertaining. It didn't feel like 16 laps. That was over very quickly. Yeah,
it's the thing with this track is just the lap is so short, and with this much action, you just lose, track of time on how many laps have gone. But yes, you were saying, very impressive set of races from a lot of our drivers here. Obviously, starting with Lee, starting from P6 going into P1. Piper with a very solid P2. He didn't really succumb to the pressure from the more experienced drivers behind him and kept that P2. Also, I must say, Sarah starting from P12 and finishing P4 is looking really promising for her. I'll tell you that much. And yeah, unfortunately as well, great try from Bertie, but I was going to say very unfortunate for Ziggy. He was looking very quick here. Hopefully he makes up for it in the feature. And yeah, also as well, Kirk, really good performance starting from the back of the grid into P6. Very solid race for Murph as well. He's in his element, as you were saying, in that 4C. It's looking like a pretty strong car around this track as well. So looking forward to seeing what them and just the whole grid is going to do in the feature race.
Quite right there, Pedro. Just to give a complete rundown of the results, no post-race time penalty from any of the stewards. Lee was P1, taking a well-deserved victory. Piper P2, Bertie in third, fourth was Sarah Hawkey, fifth Murph, sixth Kirk, seventh Sparky, eighth Ziggy, ninth Dejan Cypher, 10th Druid, 11th Haslett, 12th Damo, and 13th Simon. But I have to agree with what you said about all the drivers in that one. Shame for what happened to Ziggy. Looked like he was on for a very good result there, but he'll take that away and hopefully learn from it. And like you said, with drivers like Sarah Kirk coming from the back, both finishing top 6, great to see. One driver that really impressed me in that one was Murph, taking that P5, having a good battle with Sarah, and it was great to see him there in the top 5. But I have to say, Lee was probably very, very proud of himself for that victory. Got through the pack as he would have wanted to have done. And then one hole that we've seen in his driving in previous seasons is tyre wear. But I was keeping an eye on it, and he was on par with Bertie for that one. And Bertie's obviously known as our resident tyre whisperer in the Mclaren as well. So he's clearly improved and bridged that gap in his skill set. So it was great to see that he could utilise the tyres to his full ability and then back off enough just to save the tyre. So that's very, very promising for the upcoming feature race.
Yeah, as well as the soft tyres were fading. Even then, it didn't look like he was showing any signs of losing that relentless pace he had from the very beginning of the race. Just kept everything under control. A pretty solid win for Lee. But yeah, should we get into the feature race now?
I think that would be a good idea. With that in mind, we're going to head over and get ready for our blue feature race. And on that note, see you over there.
Taking the north bend fast, I saw your taillights flash. Rain on the windshield glass, hands locked on the dash. Black top chrome and mean, white line split the lane. Your name on the driver's seat, like a match in the rain. Count it down, no room for a mistake. Feel that engine in your chest, it's shaking my soul. Red light dawn, hold on. Red light dusk, we're gone. One more turn and the whole world burns. Red line night, hold on. You cut through the circuit fog, past the cones and the trucks. Radio spitting out static, like luck running out. I saw a flash of your smile, then the corner went blind. You were gone in the mirror, and I was still right behind. Count it down, no room for a mistake. Feel that engine in chest, shaking my soul.